everyone. I'm Melissa McAllister, and you're listening to The Melissa Made Show. Now, for decades, I've dedicated myself to helping women break the cycle of dieting, navigate through all the fads, and change their lives through my nutrition coaching. Now, each week, I'm going to talk about everything from deep nutrition, mindset, self-care, the ideal workout routine, tips on how and why to implement intermittent fasting in your life, my favorite recipes that are not only crowd pleasers, but they're actually healthy for you, and so much more. Now, with small and consistent changes, you can defy aging while living a happier, healthier, and more heart-filled life. I'm so excited to show you it's possible with the right strategies that are so simple to adopt. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Melissa Made Show. So one of the most common questions that I get, or even compliments, is on my hair. And I'm very flattered by that. I get lots of companies that come to me and ask me to promote their hair products. And I'm like, nope, I'm not going to say that it was you that made my hair grow. So I've never promoted any kind of a product. And I just wanted to share with you guys a little story why I have such long hair. Why I have it now versus why I grew it so long are two different things, but I will explain. But when I was, obviously Agent Orange played a role in birth defects that I have. And one of the birth defects that I have, if you guys haven't heard this story before, is I had what was considered a itch scratch syndrome under my right arm. And I would, as a little child, would just sit in my bed at night and scratch my right underarm until it would bleed and scab. And I still remember it. I'm one of those people that don't have a lot of memories when I was really young, because I supposedly psychologically blocked them out because of the death of my dad. And then I'm just, my Mick will always be like, do you remember when we did this? And I'm like, no, I don't remember. So I'm just really bad with certain memories. But man, I distinctly remember laying in bed and itching that, and just the crud. I mean, it's so hard to describe. I want to say that if you go into the desert where the ground cracks and there's just these huge void. I don't know. That's just kind of what I remember it looked like. It was very strange. So at the age of 8, I had a skin graft. They took a big chunk of skin off my right butt cheek and they stuck it under my right arm. So I always joke, when I fart, you smell it under my right arm, which I guess isn't that funny anymore. I thought it was funny when I was a kid. But I had stitches galore. I had 160 staples under my right arm. And I actually asked the doctor if I could pull some out. That's the kind of child I was. So he gave me the tweezers and let me pull a couple staples out of my arm myself. And not only that, when I think about it, it shows the tenacity I had as a child, because I know a lot of you listening to this, but if you happen to be watching the YouTube video, I was in a cast where my arm was like this. So it was lifted up to, my elbow was lifted up to shoulder height. And so I had a hard cast. When somebody, like, you see those movies where they have those upper body casts and they have the poles that go from their waist up to their, their forearm, and they have to hold their arms out. That was literally me on the right side for, I think I wore that cast for 8 weeks while the skin healed. So then the skin healed and they took the cast off, and I could not lift my arm higher than that 90 degrees. So I had to, as a kiddo, go up to a wall and slowly walk my elbow up the wall to try to stretch and make more elastic that new skin that was under my right arm. That was miserable. And I still don't have huge range of motion. Under my arms, pretty good, but it's not the best range of motion. But anyway, getting back to hair, I learned that if I grew my hair long, I could hide that scar pretty well as a kid. Kids are mean, teenagers are mean, and now that we're on social media, adults can be mean, but I was able to hide it pretty well. So I've had long hair for most of my most of my, early adult life and on, my mom kept cutting my hair short because she believed that all the surgeries I had, my hair was damaged. And so I had short hair because of all of the anesthesia. But as soon as I was kind of in control of my own hair, I grew it long and it's been long ever since. Now at the age of, oh my gosh, I have to say this. Now at the age of 49, just had a birthday, 49. I still have it very long, and it's just a deal breaker for Mick if I cut my hair short. He really likes it long, and so he keeps his beard for me. I keep my long hair for him. And I remember once, I was probably in my early 30s, and one of those cosmopolitan type magazines had an article that says why women over the age of 35 shouldn't have long hair. And I literally panicked. I'm like, do I have to cut my hair in a couple of years? Of course I didn't. So now it honestly resides. If I grab it, it's just above the butt crack. So it's nice and long, it's nice and full, and it is really healthy. And I appreciate the compliments on it, but I wanted you to have the little backstory of how it always starts off with a reason why you do the things you do. And it's not just because I wanted long hair, because I'll tell you, it's actually a pain in the ass. For those of you that are alongside me with really long hair or thick hair, I have both. It's a chore to wash it and to style it and to not get it in the way and to not have it all over the house. Like if a piece of hair falls out and I grab it end to end, I mean, it can be almost, 2.5 feet long. And I'm like, dang, you were with me for a really long time. And I mourn that piece of hair. And my one piece of hair is equal to my husband's like 50, so my hair is everywhere. As I can imagine you guys out there too that have long hair are like, no, I totally get you. But let's talk about hair and, what is your best bet for, growing nice, long, thick, healthy hair? Keep in mind that you are born with all of the hair follicles that you're going to have for the rest of your life. So it's not like as you are going through childhood or anything that you continue to grow hair follicles, you have what you'll have. So if anybody ever tells you there's something that you can do to increase your hair follicles, meaning the thickness of your hair in and of itself, that's just a bunch of baloney and not true. You have about 100,000 hair follicles. And of course, as you age, they just stop producing. And I'm sorry about that, but it's the truth, which is why you will notice some people get, quite a lot of thinning, or they even go bald because those follicles just quit working. Your hair cycle is anywhere from 2 to 6 years. So when I do, lose one of those hairs that are, 2 to 3 feet, I'm like, oh, there goes 6 years of work. Your age, let's see, your hair type, your overall health, and even if you have certain health conditions will affect the health, the length, the quality of your hair. And I want you to know right now, there has not been any significant research that has been discovered that will help you grow your hair faster. Okay. So if you see anything out there that says, grow your hair 2 times faster with this product, be very wary, because there's just, scientifically speaking, there's nothing that has just been like, oh my gosh, we figured out how to make people grow hair faster. And you've also heard that people can grow their hair faster in the summer than the winter. There might be a little bit of truth to that, just because you get more sunshine on your head and stuff like that. But again, that's not going to be anything of significance for you to go, oh my gosh, my hair grows so much faster in the summer. It just might feel that way because it really isn't that big of a difference. You will also lose, and I've seen different, theories, but as low as 50 to up to 150 hairs a day. So again, if you have really long hair, 150 long hairs a day is a lot. You see it everywhere. So my best thing I ever did was made the floors in my bathroom dark so you don't see them, because our house in Mexico has white tile, and I'll brush my hair and I look down and I think I'm losing all of my hair because there's so much on the floor. But here in Texas, my floor's dark and I'm like, oh, I'm not losing much hair. So it doesn't really solve the problem, but it makes you feel a little bit better that you're not losing your hair. Your body requires a lot of energy to grow your hair. So keep in mind that if you have, a diet that's not very nutrient dense, or if you're really cutting your calories, you will probably see that in your hair quite quickly. So, speaking of diet, let's talk a little bit about some certain nutrients that have been shown to help support good quality hair. And the first one is your omega 3s, your DHAs and your EFAs. Now, keep in mind, you'll always hear me talk about the importance of fat. And this is just another reason. If you want a good quality head of hair, then you've got to get adequate amounts of those healthy fats in your diet. A lot of times, people will still tend toward just eating the egg whites and avoiding any kind of, the fat-free dressings and even fat-free whipped cream and all this, the fish that's really low in fat, the meats that are, all protein and no fat. Please get in those natural healthy fats anywhere that you can, because it really does truly help you with the quality of your hair. Not only that, zinc, biotin, and iron and vitamin C can also help. But I want you to keep in mind that they help if if you start taking zinc, say for instance, and you do see better quality hair, it's probably because you're a little bit zinc deficient. So if you're not deficient in the iron, in the zinc, in the vitamin C, in the biotin, all of those, then you probably won't notice a difference by just all of a sudden taking biotin and going, I don't notice it. Or you might because you are deficient in it. So if you've got a healthy diet, my friends, which I know a lot of my listeners do, just taking that one supplement and hoping that it will help with your hair growth, you probably won't see it. Now, if your diet is a little bit off, you might see that change with your hair because those nutrients are a little bit deficient in your diet. Protein deficiency is also a cause for hair loss. So make sure that you can take collagen and keratin. Both have been shown to help with hair as well. But again, only if you're not getting enough protein in your diet. If you're like, what, I've been really working on my protein. It's the freaking hot topic right now. Anywhere that you see someone's talking about adequate protein, then again, taking those extra supplements to help with hair growth probably won't happen. But if you are pretty low in your protein intake and you increase it over time, and we're not talking overnight, but over time, you could see an improvement in the quality of your hair. Now, I want to talk about 10 foods that are really good for hair growth. So again, these foods are rich in these nutrients that I just talked about, and they're also just plain good for you. And I'll be honest, I'm not surprised. They're very made diet-ish. So I think one of the reasons that I have such a big full head of hair is because of the made diet, because these foods are very similar and very active in someone who lives the made lifestyle. Number one is grass-fed meat, because it has protein, iron, vitamin A, and zinc in it, which is great for the hair. Number two is beef liver. Iron, biotin, vitamin A, selenium, and protein. Now, when I talked earlier about certain health conditions, we know that, when your thyroid starts to get a little bit wonky, we see hair loss. That's one of the first symptoms of your thyroid not functioning properly, is the hair loss. So keep in mind that selenium and iodine. So the selenium that's in beef liver is so good for your thyroid, which is also good for hair growth. Selenium and iodine are so important for a healthy thyroid. And I always tell my clients, 2 Brazil nuts a day will give you all the selenium that you need. So take some Brazil nuts, put them on a cookie sheet, put them in the oven at a very low temperature, and just roast for a little bit. They dry out just a tad. So instead of being chewy, they're crunchy. The flavor increases. They're amazing. Have 2 of those a day to make sure you're getting all the selenium you need. Or take a really good multivitamin that has both selenium and iodine in them. Also, beef liver is a no-go for me, but I do take beef liver pills. You can take trace minerals. I found has a really good one. It's beef organs, and they it's from really healthy cows, and they dehydrate the organs and put them in pills, and it's ridiculous. You're supposed to take like 6 a day. I ain't doing that. So either I take 2 a day, or I'll just take 6 every once in a while. because keep in mind, who would eat liver every day anyway? Probably not. So you don't have to take those 6 pills, in my humble opinion, every single day to reap the benefits of all of the nutrients that are in liver. I mean, liver is chock full of nutrients. So either just take a couple of those pills a day if you're not a big pill taker, or maybe just, every third day, take all 6. So it's like you're almost having liver every third day. So beef liver is number 2. Fatty fish. I'm going to say it again. Fatty fish, such as salmon, herring, mackerel. Now they have your EFAs, your essential fatty acids, selenium, here we go again, and also that protein that you need. Number 4, eggs, protein, biotin, and selenium. Number 5, chickpeas, if they're properly prepared. They have the protein, zinc, and iron in them. So get yourself some vegetables and have some hummus, and you're helping your hair growth. Number 6 is walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. Again, they are those EFAs for you, and they also have vitamin E, which has been shown to also be great for the skin and the hair. Really important vitamin. Number 7, bone broth. I love bone broth. I especially love making my own. I haven't done that for a while. In bone broth, you've got the collagen and the protein. Pumpkin seeds, zinc. Okay, pumpkin seeds are a great source of zinc, and I think zinc is becoming a nutrient that you're seeing people becoming more deficient in than in the past, because we just don't have these foods as often, and nothing is ever zinc fortified. You know what I mean? So I always take pumpkin seeds. Here we go again. You can get sprouted pumpkin seeds, which are even better. I'll put them on a cookie sheet, cook them at a very low temperature, and just have them in a jar. You can put them in some of your yogurt. You can put them on top of your vegetables. You can put them in a stir fry. Take them in as a handful and have them as a snack, but pumpkin seeds are a very, very good source of zinc. Number 9 is oysters, where you're going to get zinc, iron, selenium, and protein. Again, oysters aren't my thing. They might be yours. So if you have some oysters, just know that you're doing your hair some good, because of the nutrients, and oysters are very good for the hair. And then number 10 are berries. Berries, the antioxidants, and then you've got the vitamin C in there that I mentioned before. It's so good for the hair.
8-hour abs? That sounds like a dream, right? What if I told you you could work on those abs while you dream? It's not too good to be true, I promise. It's something I discovered almost accidentally that gives you incredible results with minimal effort. The idea behind this is actually in what you're not doing. By giving your digestion time to rest, you allow your body to tap into its fat stores, hence working on that 6-pack while you sleep. All you have to do is eat within an 8-hour window and leave the rest up to your body. I wrote the 8-hour abs diet back in 2014 to help people learn about the importance of meal timing. Intermittent fasting has been a huge part in helping me stay in the shape that I am. For me, intermittent fasting means eating in an 8-hour window, and I'll give you my insight on it in this free ebook. With proper meal timing, you will not only look better, but you're going to feel better too. So learn more by visiting melissamadeonline.com/ebooks and get your free copy of the 8-hour abs diet today.
Okay, so you know me, the most important thing that I can help you with is to have a nutrient-dense diet that helps you look and feel your best. So we talked about all the foods and all the nutrients. That's number 1. So keep in mind those 10 things. Let's talk about supplements. Now, the first one is the Nutrafol. I think is how you would pronounce it. Nutrafol, really popular right now. You see lots of Instagram ads for it. You see women with really long, luscious hair promoting this pill that is supposed to help hair growth. So it has many of the nutrients that your hair needs, just like we talked about above. So, I think it's got the biotin in it, and the zinc and the vitamin C and all that. So you could take a hair multivitamin. Number 1, it's really expensive. I think I saw it was like $88 a month. It's really expensive. Or again, you could just find a really quality multivitamin that has these same supplements, or even better, have a diet where you know that you're getting the vitamins and minerals that you need from the food that you eat, which is always the most bioavailable thing that you can do to help. And then there's Rogaine. I always thought Rogaine, was for older men that were balding. It is definitely geared toward women, and it can help as well. But keep in mind, what I do for you guys is, I always want to do my research. And so Rogaine does show to help improve, hair growth after about 3 months. It's a lot less expensive than that Nutrafol, but I went to drugs.com and I looked it up, and it actually showed, if I'm not mistaken, it showed that headaches and weight gain were a common side effect. So that literally made me shake my head a little bit, shake my head of hair, because I'm like, weight gain? Headaches, I understand. I mean, you're putting a chemical on your head. So I kind of understand that, but the whole weight gain? So just be wary. If you use the Rogaine, they got Rogaine for women and for men. I'm not sure if it's the compounds are different, but they do make one for men and women that you could have possible side effects of weight gain and headaches. So the last option that you have are topical oils. These essential oils have been shown to be very helpful. Maybe they stimulate, they help you clean your scalp, whatever it is. But I do want to warn you that if you ever use, so I'm not an expert on these topical oils or these essential oils, but I will tell you that it's really important, number one, that you look for a really good quality, because just like any supplement out there that's kind of crazy, people can label anything as anything. And so you want to be cautious that you're not wasting your money or getting something that's not what it's supposed to be. And number two, dilute it. Okay, so this is just an example, eucalyptus oil, maybe tea tree oil, dilute it. So have like a base oil, which could be coconut oil, which could be great for your hair, and put a little bit of the essential oil in the base oil and then massage it into your scalp. Speaking of which, I'm kind of giggling, but when we lived in Hawaii, poor Taylor, my daughter, got head lice. It runs pretty rampant in Hawaii. If you've ever lived there, been there for any amount of time, and man, those buggers are hard to get rid of. And I tried all the Rid-X and all that stuff. That was before I knew how toxic that stuff was, my poor child. It didn't work because those head lice, those, what do they call them? Ukus in Hawaii, had become like resistant to Rid-X. It was crazy. So anyway, tried and did all the things and couldn't get rid of it for her. Finally, I literally doused her head with oil, probably olive oil, or even back then, maybe vegetable oil. Vegetable oil will kill them, right? Doused her hair. And so for 3 days, I kept her home with her hair just smothered in oil. Guess what? It worked. Killed him. Never had him again. So oil on the hair can be very good, especially if you have bugs in your hair. But just keep in mind, dilute those essential oils, because you could actually do a lot of damage. But I want you to know the best thing that you can do for your long and beautiful hair is to avoid a poor diet that's low in nutrition. So I'd love to come in here and tell you this product is going to help. These steps, everybody is different when it comes to washing your hair. Some people have to wash their hair every day because they have very oily scalps. People like me, you guys, I don't need dry shampoo. I'm just a very dry person, which has its pluses and minuses. The pluses is I'm not a big sweater. I never had sweat. I don't really body sweat that much when I work out hard, but my dry skin is giving me wrinkles early. So there's pluses and minuses to it. But me saying I don't have to wash my hair that often. And that could be another reason why it's pretty darn healthy, is because, I only wash it maybe twice a week. And I only do that because I feel like I need to. I mean, I probably would need to wash it once a week. So maybe not washing it every day. When it comes to products that I use, I don't even have one that I could say, hey, this is one that I've used for a long length of time and I really love it. But I will tell you, I use Redken All Soft for years. A great product for my hair. And I also, right now I'm using, I think it's called K18. That stuff is expensive, but my hairstylist turned me on to it, and it's a conditioner, leave-in conditioner, and I really, really like it. You don't use it every day, but I use it like every third wash, and it's a really great conditioner for my hair. I don't use a lot of heating products because I don't style my hair that often to begin with. I only wash it twice a week, so I'll style it maybe once a week. So that on top of everything that I've talked about, we've got to also take care of our hair. And I do put sunscreen on my hair. Like I don't have it with me here in Texas because it's freezing right now. But when I'm in Mexico, and I forget the name of it, I apologize, but it was just something I got on Amazon that I spray on. No, it's Ken Murphy. Never mind. It's Ken Murphy I got from a hairstylist. It's just a shine spray, but it also has SPF in it. So if I know I'm going to be outside and I'm not wearing a hat, I will spray it on my head to help retain the color. Because y'all know I'm gray. I'm pretty solid gray. I think this black hair is no longer, I have to do my roots every 2 weeks. But one of these days I will grow it out, but I'm just not ready quite yet. But I do use sunscreen on my hair as well to retain the color and to keep it from getting sun damage. Because just like everything else, you want a little bit of sun on you, but after a while, put some sunscreen on so that you don't get too much sun. But please don't avoid the sun and don't put sunscreen on immediately before you step out. Give your face, your eyes, your body a little bit of natural sun, 15, 20 minutes, depending on if you're one of those people that, you could be out 5 minutes and burn. If that's the case, that's your threshold. Get out there for 5 minutes, then put the sunscreen on. But try not to lather yourself up and then get out in the sun. Continually lathering, let some of that soak in. That's a side note. But anyway, I hope that was helpful. All of those nutrients that I talked about, the 10 foods that I would love to see in your diet regardless, because they are just so good for you anyway, but they're also extremely good for the quality of your hair. Nutrafol, jury's out, because I think you can get those nutrients in your diet, or you can get them in just a really good multivitamin. If you want to do that instead, that's a little less expensive. Rogaine might give you headaches, might cause you to gain a little bit of weight. Still scratching my head on that. But everything else, hydration, good sleep, low stress, exercise, get out in nature, breathe deep, love people, and you should have that beautiful head of hair. And don't be afraid to, talk to your doctor if you notice, extreme hair loss, and ask them to check your thyroid and not just your TSH. This is where I will end it. So a lot of times, which just happened to me when I had my well woman check, she checked my thyroid. All she did was check TSH. You have more hormones that come from the thyroid than just the TSH. It's just like your cholesterol. You've got HDL, LDL, triglycerides, just like your sex hormones. You've got estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Your thyroid has more than just TSH as well. So ask them to do a complete thyroid panel, because your TSH could be fine, but you have other, like maybe free T3 that isn't doing as well. So you want to check all of those hormones. So I had to go and get more testing done than just what from my doctor, and pay for it myself. But if you are losing a lot of hair, it is a possible sign that your thyroid is just having a hard time keeping up. So go get it checked and ask for that complete panel. So I hope you guys wake up feeling prepared and you go to bed feeling proud. Have a great day.
Wow, we've reached the end. But before I leave you, I'd love to hear from you. After all, it's not every day that someone reaches out and asks for your opinion. And to me, your opinion does matter. So please share this episode with anyone that you think needs to hear this message. And remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. My name is Melissa McAllister. And until next time, thank you for being your own health advocate.